Great. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, dear colleague. I am very pleased to present my manual entitled ISSEG English Language Teachers in-Service Training, which has 10 chapters. But in this particular rubric, we would just like to take into account the third part, which mainly, let's say, concern teachers. This is teaching methodology. In the heading of teaching methodology, we have to look at pedagogical approaches. And these pedagogical approaches, which is defined as strategies and method teachers use to facilitate teaching and learning. Under this heading, we have to look at some common pedagogical approaches. And the first one is teaching, let's say, the first part of this pedagogical approaches is lecturer-based teaching. In lecturer-based teaching, teacher present information to the student through spoken words. It is a traditional method and often used in higher education. The second part of these pedagogical approaches is active learning. Students must actively be engaged in the learning or in their learning process, participating in discussion, problem solving through exercises, hand-on activities prepared and let's say implemented by teachers during classes or after classes. So to do this, teachers have to prepare pre-class activities, class activities, and post-class activities. The third element of this part is experiential learning. Learning through experiences such as field trip, internship, and real-world project that has to be set up or planned or put in place by teachers in order to implement or to help students carry out their learning activities in order for better mastery. The fourth element of this one is inquiry-based learning. In inquiry-based learning, students have to be encouraged to ask questions, seek answers, and develop critical thinking. The fifth one is collaborative learning. Students work together in a group to solve problems and complete projects together. The fifth one is flipped classrooms. Students learn at home through materials like videos and then engaged in activities in discussion in the classroom. The second part of this teaching methodology is effective lesson planning. Effective lesson planning is crucial for delivering quality education. And this involved, number one, setting clear objectives. Identify what you expect your student to learn by the end of the lesson. Secondly, select appropriate content, donc content selecting. Choosing relevant content and material to support objectives. The third one of this effective lesson planning is using the right instructional method and incorporating a mix of activities and teaching methods to keep students engaged. The fourth element of lesson planning is assessment and feedback. Designing assessment to check student understanding and providing timely feedback for the better understanding or the good progress of the teaching and learning activity or process. The fifth element of this lesson planning is the sequencing and pacing. Planning the order and timing the activities to maximize learning. The last and the sixth one on the last is adapting the student's need. Being flexible and responsive to students' individual needs and learning styles. The third element of these methodologies is classroom management. Effective classroom management is essential for creating a positive learning environment. This involves establishing clear rules and expectations, setting and communicating expectations for behavior and participation. The second element is managing transitions, smoothly transitioning between activities to minimize disruption in the classrooms. The third element of that classroom management is engaging students. So students has to be kept engaged and motivated through interesting and relevant lessons. So lesson must be interesting. They have to be well prepared, well structured by teachers. The fourth element is engaging teaching techniques. We need hands-on activities, storytelling, questioning, gamification, incorporated multimedia. And the last element of the methodology is using technology in the classrooms. Today, technology has become the essential element, one of the milestones in teaching. So in integrating technology in the classroom, we need interactive whiteboards. So using interactive board for dynamic lessons, for dynamic classes, making students be participating, not let them be passive learners, but active ones. The second element of this is online learning platforms. We have to use resources and platforms for assignment and assessment. The third one is educational applications or software. Now we say incorporated educational apps, application and software, or those tools that Canvas, Photoshop, and etc. And the fourth element of this technological integration is video conferencing, which has today become one of the key elements of teaching, 21st century's teaching. Almost many great universities and institutions or colleges use video conferencing with Zoom, Google Meet, and other, platform in order to teach students which are far from them, what may stay in remote areas. And the last element of this integration is the digital resources. Accessing digital textbook, resource materials, and educational websites such as Coursera.org, Duolingo.org, or NASA's website for students. So these elements to help students, activate their learning. And some teachers often use a combination of these methodologies and topics to create effective and engaging learning experiences for their students. So the choice of approach and techniques depends on the specific context and the needs of learners. Thank you for watching. See you.